First, notice that this is in the form numerator over denominator, which means that we need to use the quotient rule to begin with. So let's write down the quotient rule. So the derivative of f of x is f prime of x. So we have denominator the whole squared, and in the numerator we have denominator times derivative of the numerator minus numerator times the derivative of the denominator. So now we quickly simplify. The next step is the derivative of 4 minus 3x squared to the 5th power. So it looks like d by dx of x to the 5th, except that instead of x we have f of x. So it's 4 minus 3x squared to the 4th times d by dx of the inner function, which is 4 minus 3x squared, minus we have 4 minus 3x squared to the 5th power times d by dx of 2 minus x squared to the 4th power is 4, 2 minus x squared to the 1 less, so that's third, times d by dx of 2 minus x squared, the inner function, the whole divided by 2 minus x squared to the 8th. In the next step, we're going to differentiate 4 minus 3x squared in the first piece and then 2 minus x squared in the second piece. So in this step, what we've done is found the derivative of 4 minus 3x squared, which is equal to negative 6x, because the derivative of 4 is 0 and the derivative of x squared is 2x, and that's how we get a 3 times 2x, which is 6x, and the negative sign remains. D by dx of 2 minus x squared is equal to negative 2x, because the derivative of 2 is equal to 0. And in the denominator we have 2 minus x squared to the 8th power. And how did we get 8? It's 4 times 2, which is 8. Next, we simplify each expression on the left side of the negative sign and the right side of the negative, since it's a difference of two functions. So negative 6 times 5 is negative 30x, and then we rewrite whatever remains, so that's 2 minus x squared to the 4th power times 4 minus 3x squared to the 4th power minus the 4 and the negative 2 is a negative 8, and then we have the x, and 4 minus 3x squared to the 5th power times 2 minus x cubed. 2 minus x squared the whole cube, 2 minus x squared the whole cubed. The whole divided by 2 minus x squared to the 8th power. So now the differentiation is done, and all we have to do is factor the expression in the numerator and try to simplify as much as possible. So we're looking at 4 minus 3x squared to the 4th power, 4 minus 3x squared to the 5th power. The smaller of the two, which is 4 minus 3x squared to the 4th power, is a common factor. Next, we look at 2 minus x squared to the 4th power and 2 minus x squared to the 3rd power. The smaller exponent is the common factor. So 2 minus x squared, the term with the smaller exponent, which is the cube, is a common factor. Now between 30 and 8, the only common factor is 2, because 15 times 2 is 30 and 2 times 4 is 8. That's not an even number, so therefore 2 is the highest common factor. And x also happens to be common in both these terms. So that's what we factor out of the numerator. And we write down the rest of the terms. So this is a negative. We factored a 2 out, so that has to be 15, because 15 times 2 is 30. 2 is already accounted for here. The x is gone. So that is gone because that's been factored out. We have a 2 minus x squared to the 4th power. However, only the 3rd power is factored out. So we have 2 minus x squared to the 1st power. We have a 4 minus 3x squared to the 4th power. 4 minus 3x squared to the 4th power is factored out. So that's gone. And then the minus times the minus is a plus. Out of the 8, 2 is already accounted for, so we have 4. And x is factored out. We have 4 minus 3x squared to the 5th power. Out of the 5, 4, the 4th power is already accounted for, so we are left with 4 minus 3x squared to the 1st power. 2 minus x squared, the whole cubed, is completely factored out. So therefore, that's what remains in the second term. And then we have 2 minus x squared to the 8th power. So we have 2 minus x squared to the 3rd power, 2 minus x squared to the 8th power. So we have 2 minus x squared to the 5th power. The 2 cancel each other out. So 2 minus x squared to the 3rd power divided by 2 minus x squared to the 8th power. 3 of these get cancelled, leaving a 5. That's how we get this. Now all we have to do is simplify the inside of the parentheses. So we have 2x, 4 minus 3x squared, and inside the parentheses we have 15 times 2 is 30 with a negative. Negative 15 times negative x squared is positive 15x squared. 16 minus 4 times 3 x squared, 4 times 3 is 12. Next, we simplify the inside of the expression completely. So finally, we are left with negative 14, that is negative 30 plus 16, plus 15x squared minus 12x squared is 3x squared. And this is the final answer.